Well, welcome back to the Piney Woods Homestead, y'all. We're going to talk about chicken today. Chicken and produce. And how we enjoy raising real chicken around here and real clean produce. Guys, thanks for stopping in at Piney Woods. Hit that old like and subscribe if you haven't. And if you have, as always, y'all, we appreciate you. Y'all, what you see in this coop right here behind me are 50 Freedom Ranger chickens. And they are an excellent breed to raise. We've been raising them for 5 going on 6 years now, and we just prefer them over any other breed of chicken that we have raised here on the homestead. I prefer them, and Lisa does too, over anything we have ever consumed, whether that is grocery store purchase from commercially raised or that we have done here on the homestead, including our golden friars, which are good, but these are top tier chickens. This morning, as I'm reading through some headlines, and y'all, you know I don't normally share anything from the news on here because you can look at it yourself, but this one just kind of struck a chord in me, and I decided I wanted to talk about it just for a minute. What you see right here are real chickens. They've been bred, incubated and hatched, brooded, and now they're in the grow out phase inside of this nice, spacious, clean coop. But what I see in the news this morning are lab created chickens or lab created chicken meat using a process, a chemical basically process inside of a big stainless steel tank to grow from some kind of cells chicken meat. Now doesn't that just sound appetizing? Now y'all, before I get too far into the weeds here, let me show you what a real chicken looks like after it's been processed. This is a Ranger. I had to make sure because we raise a couple different kinds around here. This is a Ranger. It's about a 5-pound carcass weight, whole chicken. You can see the chicken breast, the drumsticks. Turn it around, you can see the back of the chicken. You can see the wings. It's all there, y'all. It's a real chicken that was once alive, pecking at food and jumping around. A real chicken, y'all, going into a real human body once it's been cooked. Thank God for the rain, y'all. It's been dry as a bone for like a month. I had to run up and get the umbrella because it's been raining for a couple of days. Gardens are loving it. Animals are loving it too, y'all. The hogs got nice wallers out there now because of it. But back to this chicken. Basically, I did a little bit of reading this morning just to understand, or try to understand, the elementary, I guess, explanation of how they do this. Basically, they take what's called a bioreactor. And when I think of bio, I immediately have bad thoughts because of certain bioengineered things that have gone rampant around the globe over the past several years. So when I hear bio, I'm a little standoffish to start with. But it's a bioreactor, and I'm no scientist, y'all. I am a heavy equipment operator slash homesteader slash short order cook here on the Piney Woods. But they take a stainless steel tank, and there's a process, a scientific process that goes in to this production of a meat product, taking some type of cellular tissue and growing it. I think an even better elementary way to understand that is when I was a kid, it was a seafood restaurant we would go to, and for a quarter you could put a quarter in a machine and out would pop this little gummy looking thing. You'd take this little thing home, I can't remember what you call them, but you put it in basically a gallon jar, like an old pickle jar, with water. And in just a few days, that thing would swell up, and it would be like 50 times the size of what you purchased. It would just grow and grow and grow and grow. And I'd never think about eating that thing. It was just a toy. But they're basically taking cells, growing them into something that can be formed into what looks like a chicken breast. I've seen pictures of it online, and there's a couple of restaurants, one in California, I think where the company is based, that has been given approval to sell it here in America, and one in Singapore. They're gonna sell it in a couple of restaurants, y'all. Pretty soon it may be available to you at the supermarket, who knows, but I don't want to eat none of it. And no offense to the folks that want to eat it. You know, if you want to grow it, whatever it is, and eat it, do it, if that's what you want to do. But I'm going to stick to real chicken that has bones, feathers, and everything I got to clean before I can cook it and eat it. Let's talk about a few other things that are nice and clean out here that we grow to put into our human bodies. Now y'all, that is one beautiful garden, and it is looking fantastic since we started getting some rain around here, y'all. After having basically a month of dry weather and having to hand water things off of our well, it's a dramatic change in just a couple of days how much more productive the plants are looking. There's just something about rain that makes stuff grow that much better. But y'all, we're here to talk about the cleanliness of the food that you are putting into your body. When you purchase your produce from the supermarket, that produce has been handled by lots of different hands, because believe it or not, in today's modern world, lots of your produce is still picked by hand. Some things can be harvested mechanically with harvesters. Beans can be harvested that way. But when you think about tomatoes, cucumbers, eggplants, squash, peppers, watermelons, cantaloupes, things of this effect, most of that, y'all, is still picked by hand today. And having grown up in a part of North Carolina when I was younger around commercial row cropping, you have nothing but hired labor picking that produce. Now, y'all, with multiple hands touching food that ultimately goes into you and your family's body, there is a high chance that something will transfer from that food to your body that is unclean because of unclean practices in the field, unclean practices, human practices by those that are processing that food at a facility. It doesn't matter how much Clorox you throw down on equipment, bacteria and germs can still pass through your food. That's why you end up with recalls every single year on different food products, E. coli, listeria, different things that you hear about. But here on our homestead, and if you're growing a garden yourself, there are only one or two people that are handling that food. And it's you, your spouse, your children. And you can put a whole lot of quality control over that process, y'all. Clean hands, clean equipment, clean processing equipment, cleaning that processing equipment in between processing. Just simple things, y'all, that will limit your exposure to harmful things that can get onto your supper table and into your body. Y'all, it seems like ever since I can remember, ever since I've been young, and it's probably been this way for folks that are older than me too, there's always been kind of a war on meat. There's never been a war against the cucumber or a war against the tomato. I don't really understand it. But I like eating meat. And it seems like a lot of those folks that are having a war against meat like eating meat too. That's why they're doing it in a witch's brew, in a stainless steel bioreactor, and making, they call it real meat. They're making meat, y'all. What kind of meat really is it? It ain't been incubated and hatched, brooded and raised, processed, butchered, and cooked. It's been made in a brew tank. Ain't but a couple of things made in brew tanks I really like, and I don't think chicken's one of them, y'all. Y'all, and it's not just a war on meat. It seems like there's a war on everything these days. There's a war on wood stoves, because Lord have mercy, if you ain't burning it just right, you're probably going to mess something up in the environment. When wood has been burnt since the beginning of time, and these wood stoves we got today, you can't even see the smoke coming out of them. They burn so clean. But there's a war on it, y'all. Saw a while back there was a war on gas stoves. Maybe it's propane. Maybe they don't like propane. Well, I work for a living, and if I want to burn propane, I'm going to burn propane. So long as I can get it, till they make it illegal. Ain't that something? All kinds of things they're making legal now that really don't help you in any shape, form, or function. But they want to make a war against meat, wood stoves, and propane. I don't get it. Y'all take a look at these green beans right here behind me. This is the largest raised bed that we have. And every year we plant green beans in it, double crop it. There has been nothing but composted chicken litter in this bed for fertilizer for these beans. Now tell me, are you going to get the benefit of being able to compost down chicken litter from a piece of chicken with no bones and feathers grown inside of a brew tank? I don't think so. Y'all take a look at this sweet corn growing back here behind me. It is magnificent. Little bit of hand labor, hilling up the rows, fertilizing it good, making sure it was watered. Now the rain watering it. Won't be long before it's tasseling out and starting to make ears of corn. I think I'm going to call this a bio corn plot reactor. It's got a good spin to it. I like it. Y'all, what you're looking at right here is some center cut, no bark, premium white oak, post oak, and a little bit of red oak. It will make some excellent smoked chicken. I don't know how well it will do with that engineered chicken grown inside of a tank, but maybe it would make it taste a little bit better, if nothing else. Guys, I've been rambling. I just felt like rambling this morning and giving a few of my opinions, and it's not all just opinion, y'all, when it comes to safe food for you and your family. Just felt like rambling a little bit. Rainy day rambles, guys. Y'all have a good day, a great week, and Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, and y'all, it's rising right now in more ways than one. But if it don't rise too high, we'll see you on the next one. Y'all have a good day.